Why is brand building important?
You want to know what it will take for this business to break even.
Need plus action equals value.
You sure?
Understand the market that you are operating in.
How do you make sure that you are successful?
And what happens should you preach?
What one thing could we improve?
Start with why.
Come.
Come.
Journey with us. Welcome to the Bank Windhoek Business Banking Masterclass, where business makes sense. I'm Ryan Geyser. I'm responsible for customer strategy in Bank Windhoek and the Capricorn Group, and I also run the digital transformation for the group. I'm going to be talking to you about two things regarding delivering exceptional customer service. The one is customer expectations and trends. The other one is around customer retention strategies. Customer expectations are constantly increasing. Businesses or customers aren't comparing your service to the last time they interacted with you. They're comparing it to the last time they had a great experience. They're also increasingly expecting a personalized service. You often hear customers don't want to be considered just a number. They want their experiences to be really personalized. They are getting this experience from digital services every day, like Netflix, Amazon, social media, Spotify. So this delivery of a very personal experience is becoming common practice. In a recent study by PwC, it found that 86% of customers are willing to pay more for a better customer experience. If you think about it, every interaction with a customer is an opportunity to build a pipeline for sales and future business. So you need to make those matters count. So what are some really practical steps into making sure you can deliver a great customer experience every time? Introduce or establish a set of customer service standards. And that could mean writing down and noting how long it should take a customer's inquiry or a customer's query or complaint to be resolved in your business. Make it practical, make it achievable, make it visible. So write it down, create a little handbook for that, and make sure that every staff member is aware of these standards. Empower your staff to handle issues and complaints and inquiries. I don't think there's anything more frustrating than having a staff member or a consultant or an agent tell you that they have to ask the manager before they can resolve an issue. Don't underestimate the value of regular training and refresher programs to make sure everyone in the organization is aware of those service standards and exactly how to deal with certain issues or services for your customers. Keep your ear to the ground. You need to have a really good understanding of, first, what are the major issues that your customers are experiencing? And secondly, how to resolve those. Remember that there is no more powerful marketing message than customers celebrating the great service they receive from you. Word of mouth is still one of the most powerful marketing mechanisms that exist. Next, we're going to be talking about customer retention strategies. If you think of your business as a bucket and new customers pouring into it, customer loss, or what we call customer churn sometimes, is a hole in the bucket that new customers or existing customers pour out of. And customer retention is really around plugging that hole. Because if we lose more customers than we gain, we won't have a business. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that to gain a new customer probably takes between 5 and 7 times more effort, more cost than retaining customers. And you've probably heard it a lot because it is the truth. Keeping customers is far more effective than gaining new customers and far less effort. There's a term in customer strategy called lifetime value. What that basically means is the value over a lifetime that this customer purchases products and services from your business. When we think about it in this way, it helps us nurture these relationships that we can derive the utmost value from each and every one of our customers. Another way to think of this is customers as our greatest assets. We've often heard businesses won't exist without their customers. But when you really approach it in the way you would for valuable assets, you wouldn't let assets decline, you wouldn't ignore them, you would look after them, you would maintain them, you would invest in them. And this is of utmost importance when we think about customers as our assets as well. So here are a couple of practical steps you can take to try and make sure that you are retaining your customers. Check-ins and follow-ups. This is a great way of just getting, firstly, an understanding of whether you landing the services and products properly, whether customers are satisfied with that and happy with those. Secondly, it creates and nurtures a relationship with your customers and makes them feel that it wasn't just a purchase of a service and product, but that it goes beyond that. Regular communication. And important about this is to try and keep it relevant and impactful as well. This could be a newsletter about new services and products. This could be around stock coming in that may be of value for the customer. An example on that is new pet toys that came into a pet store. Another example could also be information relating to the services that you provide. An example is a pool cleaning service that could inform you about tips and tricks during the rainy season to keep your pool nice and blue and clean. Rewards. Now these can take the form of personalized small gifts or notes, like a thank you note after receiving a product or service, and can be more complicated, like discount systems or voucher systems that can be redeemed after making a couple of purchases of your product or service. And number 4 is to use data. For any business, you want to be very clear on how many customers you are losing, and more importantly, why, so that you can close those gaps, that you can plug that bucket and keep the customers you've worked so hard to attain. I read a quote recently that said, customer experience is the new battleground for businesses. That means that if you are not differentiating on similar products and services through customer experience, you're going to be losing customers to your competitors. And no customers equals no business. I'd like to share an example of a really good experience I had recently. I was looking for a gift, a birthday present for my wife. Went into a retailer. The staff member came and asked if she could help, and I kind of like doing things myself, so I said, it's fine, I'm just looking. Just with an extra prompt, she asked, well, maybe can I help? Is it for a gift or is it for a specific purpose? And then struck up the conversation and I shared it was for a gift. It ended with her really assisting to get the right gift by asking a number of questions around her interests, the kind of type of things she likes. And it was just an amazing experience that will result in me going back to that store, hopefully getting the same service from either the same staff member or similar. But that store has captured me, I think, for a long time. Thanks for joining us for this episode. Catch us next time for more expert advice to help elevate your business. Come, journey with us.